Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do the hydraulic service on my Branson tractor. It's the 50-hour service. We're going to change both hydraulic filters. It's got 2 of them and about 9 gallons of hydraulic fluid. So I'm going to show you where the filters are, where the drain plugs are, what kind of fluid I'm going to put in it. And I've already done the oil filter and oil change on it. That's pretty basic, just like a car or a truck. So just in case you're wondering, I'm outside. I always work outside pretty much. A 4x8 sheet of plywood does fit nicely between the tires, and it's just better than laying on a wet or dirty ground. As far as filters, I bought them from the dealer. I'll show you the part numbers of the new ones. This is the fluid we're going to be using. It's the J20 C spec, which is what they recommend. Pretty expensive. It's $75, or this particular brand was $75 for a 5-gallon bucket. So we're going to get that drained out and let's get started. Plug wasn't very tight. Oh man, that fluid looks nice and clean. Don't lose the little O-ring there. We'll just set that down. And I got to keep an eye on my drain pan. Make sure it don't overflow. Alright, I'm gonna let that trickle out of there, and I'm gonna go ahead and drain my other pan and get it ready. Just drain it into a 5-gallon bucket. Alright, you can see where the fluid's trickling out there. That's the first drain plug. It's basically underneath the rear axle housing. Then as you move forward on the tractor, there's another plug right there. And we got the first one drained, and it was about 6 gallons that come out of there. And I got my drain pan emptied and into a 5-gallon bucket, and there's just a little bit left in the pan. So we're going to put this cap back in and move forward here and get this other one drained. Here's what the drain plugs look like. You got a yellow paint on them, and there's an embedded O-ring. Just make sure that O-ring's on there. And they're both 17mm socket size. So we're going to let that one trickle out a little longer and move up here and get this one drained and get the plugs back in, and then we'll go on the top side and show you where to put the oil back in. Alright, this is the second drain plug. That one's a little bit tighter. Alright, coming down. Alright, so apparently the rear drain plug takes care of the whole thing, because nothing's coming out of this one. Except some crusty old paint job there. Get that wiped off. Alright, so that's good. So I think there's a bunch of fluid behind the filters. You see that O-ring on there? It's kind of embedded into the plug. There's a little bit of, I guess these are magnetic, a little bit of shiny metallic stuff on there from break-in. Yeah, these are magnetic. So that's good. Wipe those off. I don't think I wiped off the last one. But it looked clean, so we'll leave it in. Go ahead and get this back in. And tight. Alright, that's good and tight. And we'll get the filters off next. Let's see. That white filter is one of them, and over here, oops, this blue filter. Both of these got to come off. See the white one there, the blue one here. This thing has two separate hydraulic pumps. I guess that's why there's two filters. And I'm going to be using these channel lock style oil filter pliers. And everybody says these filters are always really tight, so, and we're going to be turning this towards us, so let's see. Yeah, it's really tight. There it goes. There we go. My pan's in the way there. There we go. That's better. I should be able to do that by hand now. Yeah. You guys can't really see that. Let me move the camera. There you go. Big old filter. There it goes. Popping that seal right out of it. Yeah, you want to make sure you get that old seal off there. Alright, not much fluid coming out of that one. We're going to wipe that housing off with a rag and get the other filter on there. Alright, one more time. This one a little easier to get to here. Same pliers. Filter bracket isn't very strong. It's kind of flexible. Luckily all the hoses are flex hoses, so just gonna have to keep squeezing on that. There it goes. Whew. Tight. We just go back on hand tight and maybe use a little rag so get a little grip on it. Alright, got some fluid coming out of this one. The other one pretty much quit draining already. Show you what we're putting back on. This is the big one. There's the part number and the price. Pretty expensive for filters. And the little one's not blue anymore, it's white also. There's the part number and price for it. Alright, I'm going to get them out of the box, spin them back on hand tight, and we'll move to the back and get some fluid back in this thing. And we'll see you back there. Alright, I'm going to put these new filters on. I'm just going to dab my finger in the hydraulic oil there and wet the seal. Give that housing a wipe there and screw it on. Spins on nicely. And just gonna give it a good hand tight, just like that. And that should be good to go. Filters have a plastic seal on them there. Big old thing. Do the same thing with it. Get that seal wet. I know, like on a car engine oil filter, you want to fill it up. These, I'm just going to let the system fill it up when I put the fluid in it. And after we run it for a minute, we'll stop and check the fluid again and make sure. Let me get up under there and put this one on, and we'll be ready to put fluid in it. Wipe that housing off there. Keep everything nice and clean. That's about as tight as I can get it by hand, and that's where we're going to leave it. We'll check them after we run it a little while and make sure it's not leaking. Alright, let's get some fluid in this thing. about all I can get out of that one. Not on the dipstick yet. That's about 6 gallons there. I'm gonna check the dipstick again, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up and move some hydraulics around and then check it again. All right, let's crank it up. Alright, we ran it through its paces and checked the dipstick again. I wish this fluid had some color to it, make it a little easier to see on the stick. That's what the stick looks like. We'll try that. I'm gonna call that good. We'll run it a little while, a couple hours, and then check for leaks. Dipstick and filler cap are in. Alright, the only thing I got left on the 50 hour is the front axle. This is actually a filler plug right here. This one's just vented. Let's see, the drain plug is that yellow cap right there on the back side. And the same on this side. This one, the drain plug is on the front. And there's the filler plug. This one's actually a dipstick, and you can use it in both sides. And these hold about 3/4 of a gallon of 90 weight gear oil, just straight 90 weight gear oil. So I still have to get some of that and get that done, and that'll complete it. You know, I did the clean the air filter and check the fuel filter and checked all the stuff that it says to in the manual. And the only thing I got left to do is write down the dates and the hours on the 2 hydraulic filters. I should have done it before I put them in, but I forgot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and that'll wrap up this episode of Projects with Paul, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.